Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called Eagle. This was created by Centuri in 1980, and it is a copy of Moon Cresta, which was created by Nichibutsu in 1980. Moon Cresta was also licensed to Gremlin Sega in the US in 1980. I have not seen this game in arcades. I had seen the original Moon Cresta, not the Nichibutsu cabinet, but the Gremlin Sega one in numerous arcades, but I had not seen this version. This version has different graphics, and there's some nuances to the gameplay that are different, and there is the Nichibutsu marquee of Moon Cresta. This this type of game that runs on, I believe it's the Galaxian hardware with a Starfield like that, does not record well in MAME. The screen gets squished, so I had to use Bandicam to capture this. And the game, like I said, it plays a lot like Moon Cresta. You also dock with ship parts to increase your firepower, like there. And that's the best way to score points, is docking bonus. But there are two colors of each type of enemy in the game, and you will face each color, and that'll be two waves of the same enemy. You will face two of these creatures that split in half. Then you'll face a couple creatures that we'll see them in a little bit. There's ones that resemble eagles, and here the ship is missing the docking. In fact, they're just passing right under. Should get roasted by the exhaust there. But if you fail to dock, you don't get to use that piece, and you don't that piece of the ship, and you don't get the increased firepower. But in this game, as in I believe the original Moon Cresta, if you score 30,000 points, you get a free game, and in that free game you continue your score from where you left off, which is awesome. And that works in Eagle as well. Note that it says Century at the top under the high score, but we will watch the last part of the ship. And once you lose a part of the ship, or once you lose a life, then you move on to the next part of the ship that is available, and you will get increased firepower with the other parts of the ship. We'll get started in just a moment here. And we'll start with the small ship. And we have these creatures that split into pieces when you shoot them. The game is easier than Moon Cresta. One particular glaring reason is if you die during the first 4 waves, two waves of each color enemy, the game gives you a handicap. The action slows down big time, which is an awesome handicap, and we'll see that later. But yeah, you get 2 of those guys that split up, then you get these firefly thingies, and you get 2 colors of them. Generally, early on, staying on the left side is mostly safe to avoid the descending enemies. But yeah, I'd never seen this in arcades. I hope you're managing to stay cool. It's getting really hot right now. It's been 90s all week where I live. I had to take today off because I cut my finger really bad. I could have gone into work maybe, but I have so much sick time, and it would have kind of hurt to pick things up with my left hand. But at any rate, here is the first docking procedure, and after every 4 waves, you get the opportunity to dock. And we're going to try to dock with this part of the ship. And docking is super easy. You have if you use the fire button, you flick your thrusters, and you need to do that to descend slower. And now I have more firepower, as you can see. Now we've got a couple waves of these eagles, which is fitting because the game is called Eagle. And then after these guys, there will automatically be asteroids descending, and you will need to get out of the middle of the screen quickly once you clear this group of eagles here, the purple ones, because the asteroids will immediately start falling. You need to retreat to the left or right side. I always pick the right side. Damn it, just die. There we go. See? Yikes! Same as in Moon Cresta. The game is very similar. I like the graphics in Moon Cresta better, but this game is a little easier. And now we dock with the final part of the ship. And yeah, it's always pretty easy to dock, and whatever time you got left from trying to dock, you'll get a bonus for that. And also multiplied by which part of the ship, the second or third part of the ship that you docked with. And now we have these descending icicle-like enemies. Even though you have multiple shots you can fire, it's still kind of hard to hit some of these enemies. Some of them are very, very thin and can slip between your shots. And then you get a congratulatory message of far out. I don't like this sound effect here compared to the Moon Cresta music at the very beginning. Very, very cool for from what I remember. It goes. I like that sound effect. They don't have that in Eagle. But there, I lost a life. Like I was saying, on the first pattern, if you died during the first 4 waves, the first time you die, you will get a handicap. The enemies will be moving very slow until you finish that one particular type of enemy. Oops, yeah, they can reach you on the edges here now. I didn't play particularly great here, but I don't really care. But yeah, it's the enemies that split in half, and then the fireflies, and then the eagles, and then the asteroids, and the icicle things. And like I said, after every 4th wave, you get to dock. And again, in the original Moon Cresta and in Eagle, if you get 30,000 points, you get a free game, and it will start right after you lose your last life, and you get to continue with your score. And again, right after the purple eagles, you'll see the asteroids descend, and you better get to the left or right real frickin' quick. Yikes, like that. Each asteroid is worth 200, And since you can't score much in the game, you know, why not just duck out of safety real quick and, oops, and try to get some points. But that is my game of Eagle, and I'll put in my initials. Despite seeing Centuri in the high score listings, it won't allow you to put in more than 3 letters, which is stupid. Oh well. But that is Eagle. And we shall look at the handicap eventually that I spoke of. You can get a lot of fun and thrill. Nice English. Well, here is that handicap. I'm going to die on... if you die anywhere on the first 4 waves, the game will give you a handicap. So it's either those enemies that split up or the fireflies. But only on the first go round. It won't work on the second pattern, and it won't work on the... see, the game slows down. Isn't that nice? And it won't work on the icicles or the eagles. And this keeps going until you complete the type of enemy that you were on. You know, both colors. And now we're going to see me pass 30,000. And you get that little bit of fanfare there. And then we'll see me end my game after having completed getting 30,000. When you run out of lives, and here's what happens. Play it, enjoy another game. Awesome. And I keep my score. See? It's pretty cool. But that was Eagle by Centuri in 1980, a copy of Moon Cresta created by Nichi Butsu in 1980. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching Eagle by Centuri in 1980. Stay cool, everybody. Keep that AC going or those fans blowing. Have a good one. I'll see you later with another video. Bye, folks.